Welcome to SparkMap. SparkMap is built and run by a team of data people who collect, clean, and aggregate data from reliable secondary sources. We make these data available through two powerful data tools, the Assessment and Map Room. Need to build a community needs assessment or gather more data about your community? Use SparkMap to spend less time researching and more time implementing positive change. The following webinar will provide examples of how you can use SparkMap to learn.
Hello, and welcome to SparkMap. I'm Shay, and today we are going to discuss using SparkMap to help prepare for emergencies. September is National Preparedness Month, and this year, FEMA's theme is preparing older adults. According to Ready.gov, National Preparedness Month started in 2021 to help raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies that could happen at any time. To begin our webinar, I will highlight the various FEMA disaster risk layers you can find on SparkMap, as well as our live wildfire information. Then I will walk through a community resilience layer for you to help gauge the current preparedness of your service area. Lastly, we will work through a case study relevant to the theme of this year and examine households with seniors living alone, nursing facilities, and disaster shelters. Let's get started. To begin, I think it's important to help you assess the risk of various disasters in your community. For specific risks, we have a robust library of FEMA layers. When I search FEMA, we see that 193 results populate. As I scroll through the list, I am able to easily find information out about various types of natural hazard risk, as well as expected annual loss, the National Risk Index, and if I go to our next page of results, social vulnerability. Adding these layers to the map will show you a scale of very low to very high risk for the selected layer. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my search to wildfire. In addition to the FEMA risk layers, I also want to highlight our live wildfires layer, as we're currently in the peak of wildfire season. The live wildfires layer from the National Interagency Fire Center is updated on a daily basis and contains information on the type of fire, location, cause, and percent contained. Now that you know about a few layers to help you assess current and potential risk hazard, let's go ahead and look at a layer that estimates community level preparedness. So I am going to go back over to our search data bar and look for another FEMA layer, community resilience. So if I search for resilience here, our community resilience layer from FEMA tells us how resilient each county is from very high to very low based on its ability to prepare for, adapt to, and withstand and recover from natural hazards. Therefore, communities with higher community resilience ratings are not necessarily immune from natural disasters, but instead are estimated to have the capacity to bounce back from them more quickly than similar communities. This layer can be a great tool to help you understand how prepared your community currently is for risk. Now that we have an understanding of how SparkMap can help you assess the risk of specific hazards and the ability for your community to overcome them, let's walk through a case study. As a reminder, the focus of National Preparedness Month this year is preparing for older adults. When thinking about older adults navigating emergencies, there are some important factors to consider, such as their housing status and transportation needs. I have pre-populated this map with data on the percentage of seniors living alone by county, FEMA designated disaster shelters, and nursing facilities. Right now, this map is pretty overwhelming. So I am going to go ahead and zoom in to the state of Kansas. When I do this, the map becomes a little bit easier to navigate, or it will in just a second when all of this renders. There we go. And I am going to scroll around the map and look for some of these darker green areas. So the dark green areas, if I look over at my legend, are going to indicate that over 13% of the population in that county is senior over the age of 65 living alone. Let's look right here at Hodgman County. So as we can see, 21%, over 21% of the households in this county have seniors living alone. Further, when we look at it, there are no nursing facility locations, which if we look back at our legend are indicated by these red dots. And there are also no designated disaster shelters within the county. So if a disaster were to occur, the seniors living there would be forced to transport themselves or find transportation to one of the neighboring counties that has a disaster shelter that would hopefully be open when that hazard does occur. To assess the risk even further, I could add the FEMA National Risk Index layer or a community resilience layer, or one of those specific hazard risks that I might be interested in. Adding layers to learn more about community risk while also using our advanced mapping tools will help you better assess risk in your community and take the steps to ensure all community members can prepare for emergencies. Today, we discussed how you can use SparkMap for emergency preparedness in your community. I highlighted various FEMA risk layers and live wildfire data. We also assessed community resilience. Lastly, we walked through a case study focusing on emergency preparedness for seniors by looking at the percent of households in a county with seniors living alone, disaster shelters, and nursing homes. We hope you found this webinar insightful and useful for your community disaster preparation.